Arirang Prime.
(2018년) 남북 정상회담을 2018년 4월 27일 판문점 평화의 집에서 개최하기로 하였습니다.
When the Korean Peninsula stood at the center of the world's hopes and worries, some 3,000 Korean and foreign reporters stood at the front line, observing this touching event with their penetrating eyes.
We have to look beyond only Seoul, Pyongyang.
For like the coming summit after this one, but I think this one is the most important because the next one between Trump and Kim depends on what happens tomorrow.
I think that he's going to make history, and I think he's doing a great job.
The battle to cover the summit had begun long before the actual event, with each reporter making his or her own effort to transmit their stories across the world. Take a look at each of their fierce moments during the Inter-Korean Summit, from booting to sending. The Foreign Press Center, located in Chunggu, Seoul, is where the foreign correspondents in Korea can receive support in relation to their coverage and interviews. Most reporters who come to the center are veterans who either have lived in Korea for a long time or have been covering the country for a long time. However, even to them, the recent news of the Inter-Korean Summit came as a shock.
Kim will waddle across the border and give his royal wave. It'll be one of the greatest photo opportunities in Korean history. It's going to be tremendously iconic. That'll be front page news in pretty much every country in the world. And I think the summit will go very, very well. Because frankly, I think both Kim and Moon are pretty alarmed by Donald Trump, and they've realized they have to engineer something.
Is it going to be about, economic possible cooperation, but also nuclear issue, how North Korea might try to decouple the US from South Korea, it's all the tactics, so there will be several tracks, but we're going to be checking all this in the bigger picture, because it cannot be just it's an intercurrent. I mean, this take part in a bigger picture, which is Northeast Asia, which is US-China relations, so we have to look beyond only Seoul, Pyongyang.
News of the summit was received with both surprise and high expectations, since it affected not just the Korean Peninsula, but also the peace and order in the global community. Needless to say, the press center was bombarded with more questions than usual.
저희가 하고 있는 것은 외신이 좀 더 좋은 환경에서 취재할 수 있도록 지원하는 역할들을 하고 있기 때문에 가장 중요한 거는 이제 정상회담 관련된 프레스센터가 고향 킨텍스에 설치될 예정입니다. 그걸 어떻게 이용하는지, 어떻게 등록을 하는지, 거기서 어떤 식으로 브리핑 같은 거라든가 외신에 지원할 수 있는 자료라든가 이런 것이 어떻게 제공되는지, 이런 전반적으로 프레스센터 운영과 관련된 그런 질문들이 가장 많고요.
The press tour, which offered a glimpse of Korea's current status as a divided nation, was especially popular among journalists. It was fully booked on the same day registration began.
I think any access we can get to the border area is good for insight. It's an area that's often very controlled.
This press tour pays a visit to Taesongdong village, the only area beyond the civilian control line where civilians are allowed to reside. Because the summit is just around the corner, gaining close access to Panmunjom is not easy. Of course, this does not stop the foreign reporters. Their professionalism is quite apparent even in the moving bus. Many are busy filming the passing scenes as well as their colleagues with their cameras. Their anticipation and tension peak as the bus begins to approach the civilian restricted area. Not long after, they arrive at Taesongdong village. Despite the peaceful landscape, tension is running high among the foreign reporters. They are surprised, even by the words of the village foreman, when he calls out to them to begin his tour. The fact that they are close to the demarcation line in the world's only divided nation must pique their interest while also making them nervous. The foreman tries to soothe their nerves.
한국에서는 본인의 집을 다닐 때는 왔다 갔다 편히 왔다 갔다 하지 않습니까? 근데 여기서는 그렇게 왔다 갔다 할 수가 없습니다, 밤에.
Soon, the reporters are busy gathering facts for their coverage. What crosses their minds as they listen to every word of the translated explanation?
So first, I'm very happy because I feel it's very interesting to be in such a kind of historical place. But in the same time, I'm a little bit frustrated because I would like to go there, to the other side, and see what's happening there. So it's a double feeling.
The tour proceeds under the supervision of the United Nations Command. Despite all the restrictions, the reporters' passion for covering the moments before the summit is quite apparent. The final destination and climax of the press tour is the Torah Observatory. Standing at the observatory, they can see the land of North Korea spread out just before them. It's a surprising yet tragic sight, even to the foreign journalists. The yearning for peace that suddenly springs from within them makes them look forward to the Inner Korean Summit even more.
It is very peaceful, and I cannot separate it very much from the South Korea. It looks like one country, what it was. So it feels very nice, very peaceful, except when you look at the borders and when you look at the barbed wire and look at all the military around you. Then it feels stressed and not right. Yes, I hope very much that the summit will bring some appeasement and some positive developments between two countries.
There were also Korean reporters who had to deliver an accurate and sincere coverage of the Inner Korean Summit. A week prior to the summit, an agreement ceremony involving a handful of media companies took place. Arirang TV was selected for transmitting English broadcasts of the event across the globe.
국가적으로도 굉장히 중요한 이벤트고 우리 아리랑 TV도 주간 영어 방송이 돼가도 나름대로 굉장히 역할을 하고 있는데 주말 좀 특별 편성을 힘드시지만 이렇게 당부 말씀을 들어가지고 토요일 아침 8시부터 시작을 하는 게 어떻겠냐 하는 안이 나와서 8시부터 다시 뉴스를 토요일 날 하고자 합니다.
어떤 그 방송사에서 받을 건지 그 리스트가 되나요?
A team leader level meeting takes place, the air thick with tension.
수중계 시에 우리 뭐 자막에 하더라도
오늘부터 조명의 실무가 투입이 되고 이제 내일 아침 9시에 현장에 양쪽 다 중계차가 진입을 합니다.
뉴스 오프닝하고 엔딩 타이틀 평화의 집하고 임진각 딸이 사전 준비 완료했고요. 오늘 CIQ 전체 방송사에서 준비사.
After being selected as an official broadcasting company for the Inter-Korean Summit, this kind of meeting became quite frequent. The first order of business is to build a relay station at the main press center in Kintex Ilsan, as well as Torasan CIQ office. The meeting also plans various programs that Arirang TV will offer in relation to the summit, including live broadcasts, documentaries, and debates, involving both the programming and news teams. After the team leader meeting is over, a meeting at the news center follows suit. The reporters who will actually be covering the event, as well as PDs, writers, and crew members who will make the broadcast possible, go over the timeline and their comments in detail.
11시부터 11시 반까지는 이제 다시 뉴스로 전환해서 데니얼하고 세민이가 CIQ에서 오픈해주고 그다음에 MPC에서 받아서 엑스퍼트는 바꿔서 이 임마뉴얼 파스튜어 소장하고 김현우 교수님 이 스튜디오에 출연하고
8시 30분까지는 뉴스를 끝내버리고 끝난 다음에 자기가 그걸 받아가지고 쭉 진행을 하면 되는 거야.
수중계는 그럼 CIQ에서 안 하는 거죠?
그렇지.
The magnitude of this unprecedented event is accompanied by a heavy sense of responsibility for those who are covering it. This is especially the case for the reporters, who have to deliver the news in a highly volatile environment.
최근 한 달 들어서부터는 남북 정상회담 준비에 좀 더 박차를 가한 건 사실이고 뉴스 비중으로만 봐도 저희 뉴스 라인업의 거의 절반을 차지할 정도로 북한 관련한 뉴스를 조금 더 심층 있게 다루고 있는 편입니다.
지금 현재는 전사적으로 모든 PD들이 투입돼서 전체적으로 한 150명가량 그 정도가 같이 진행을 하고 있는 걸로 보입니다.
일어나자마자 뉴스를 보고 뭐 어떤 일이 터졌는지 뭐 어떤 일이 있는지 항상 이제 뉴스를 생각하고 특히 지금 남북회담 같은 경우에는 미국에서 나오는 뉴스도 많아가지고 미국은 시간이 시차 때문에 저희 자는 시간에 이제 많은 일이 터지는데 그러니까 그래서 아침에 일어나자마자 제일 처음으로 하는 게 뉴스 보는 겁니다.
Then, there's the fact that their news coverage of Korea has to be provided in English, just like all the other programs that Arirang TV transmit to some 140 million households in 105 countries across the world.
얘기 못한대요?
누가 하니까
Back in 2014, but that deadline came and went. Speaking at a cabinet meeting Tuesday, President Jae-in expressed...
Yeah, really, I have to say I enjoy my job. It's a pretty unique situation because what we do at Arirang is take the news from South Korea and North Korea and present that to an audience that doesn't speak Korean and that can't really follow the news in detail as much as they might like. So it's our job to give them a window into how things work in this country and what's happening in this country.
뉴스를 만드는 사람으로서 이런 뉴스가 평생에 몇 번 있을까? 이게 엄청난 뉴스거든요. 세계적으로도 관심 있고 방송하는 경력상에서 되게 큰 기회라고 생각하고
cards to play because in exchange for denuclearization, the regime will likely have
The crew members who are in charge of the follow-up activities are also feeling quite tense. The main control room at the news center is where the news is finally transmitted. One wrong cut or call can lead to a broadcast mistake. For the live broadcast of the Inter-Korean Summit, which is bound to be filled with even more variables, making thorough preparation is a must.
Welcome to this
edition of Arirang News. I'm Lee-Jun in Seoul.
So many individuals are making their own preparations for the historical summit. How will this event be remembered by them in the years to come?
It was a party alive.
So many high expectations and hopes for the Inter-Korean Summit, which was taking place 11 years after the previous one. Alas, the event was thoroughly veiled, making the reporters eagerly predict what it would be like.
#100th day, I raised my hand and I was like, so President Moon,
the Inter-Korean Summit Preparation Committee offered a debate session where participants could discuss the summit's potential agenda and make various forecasts about the event. On the day of the pre-meeting, the panelists began a heated discussion the moment they got together. It was as if they were participating in the actual debate. The discussion gave the moderator a lot to think about.
오늘 굉장히 좋았던 것 같아요. 목소리가 크다고 할까요? 그런 분들이라서 디베이트나 이런 거 하기에 굉장히 재미있어요. 사전 미팅도 다이나믹하고 좋았어요.
One thing they all agreed on was that the political environment and issues for the upcoming Inter-Korean Summit were unlike those for the previous summits.
They worry about the situation because first time in many years they are facing a US administration which, as they believe, is capable of using military force, is capable of striking them first. And of course they worry about sanctions, which are now quite close to embargo. Essentially, North Korea cannot sell anything which is sellable on the international market.
The first Inter-Korean Summit that was held after the nation was divided in two was the one between President Kim Dae-jung and Chairman Kim Jong-il in 2000. The summit resulted in the June 15th North-South Joint Declaration, in which the two leaders agreed on various civilian-level exchanges, including the meeting of separated families and Kumgangsan mountain tours. The peaceful relationship carried on and led to the second summit 7 years later. The declaration signed by President Roh Moo-hyun and Chairman Kim Jong-il in 2007 focused less on denuclearization and more on economic diplomacy. Compared to the past summits, the 2018 Inter-Korean Summit is taking place in a more dramatic manner. Despite the New Berlin Declaration, North Korea continued its nuclear provocations. Experts were worried that the risk of a war breaking out was the highest since the ceasefire. Then, through its New Year address in 2018, North Korea showed a sudden change of heart, and soon an era of peace dawned. The upcoming Inter-Korean Summit can be seen as the destination as well as the beginning of this journey for peace.
길잡이라는 말이 저는 적절하다고 생각을 합니다. 그래서 우리가 북미를 만나게 하고 북미의 비핵화 타결을 하는 데 있어서 우리가 그것이 굉장히 중요하지만 우리가 제3자가 아니기 때문에 이 길잡이를 해야 된다고 생각을 하고요. 그 다음에 북미의 비핵화가 이루어진다면 곧바로 한반도의 평화체제를 실현시키기 위한 데서 올인을 해야 된다고 생각하고요. 우리가 정말 기적적으로 다가온 한반도 평화체제에 대해서 온 국민이 마음을 모아가지고 성원을 해야 된다고 생각합니다.
The main press center finally opens the day before the summit. Located at Kintex in Ilsan, the center is the size of a soccer field, consisting of a briefing room that accommodates up to 1,000 as well as an international broadcasting center. The reason that the center has been set up here instead of the near venue of the summit has to do with the locational characteristics of Panmunjom. Hence, it highlights its connection to the venue as well as the convenience it can offer in covering the event.
판문점과 또 여기 메인 프레스 센터를 온라인으로 연결을 해서 거기에서 나오는 모든 기사들과 사진들이 실시간으로 저희들 쪽에 보내지고 여기서 기사가 작성되면 다시 그게 실시간으로 전 세계로 또 나가도록 그렇게 되어 있습니다.
A whopping 869 reporters from 184 press companies registered at the center in advance, including those who applied for temporary passes on the day of the summit. The actual number of people using the center neared 3,000, an all-time high. Some 670 individuals, including employees of relevant organizations and volunteers, were also mobilized to support the event.
There will be approximately 10 or
Well, it's actually very, very big. I think it's around like 1,000 journalists, right? And many coming from overseas also. And I think it's impressive. Yeah, I've been in other like big events like G7 or European Union summits, but this is, I think, one of the biggest like media coverage summits I've ever been.
The moment the center opens, a fierce competition to grab the better seats and cover the opening takes place. They deliver briefings by government officials while also serving as a messenger themselves, describing the heated atmosphere surrounding the event. Their hands become almost invisible with the appearance of the preparation committee chairman.
여러분들께서 이렇게 많이 참석해 주셔서 관심과 또 뜨거운 취재 열기를 보여주시는 것이 한반도 평화와 번영에 큰 응원이 됩니다. 오후에는 남북 정상이
The schedule for the summit, as well as other relevant announcements, all disclosed a day before the event, are soon transmitted across the globe in various languages. In the crowd is Hwang Ho-jin, a third-year reporter in Arirang TV. Starting from today, he will be covering the summit at the MPC for 2 whole days. 30 minutes remain before he goes on air for the first time. Due to the briefing at the Blue House before the first airing, he has been exceedingly busy revising his articles and practicing his comments.
Now, when the entrance meeting start meeting tomorrow.
In Kintex, Ho-jun.
Mark, so as you said, we finally have a set time for the historic meeting between the leaders of the two Koreas. According to the preparatory committee chairman, the first encounter will take place at 9:30 a.m. Korean Standard Time at the border village of Panmunjom.
The role he is about to play may be a burden to him, given his relatively short experience. How does he feel about it?
어마어마하다는 생각을 했어요. 아, 이거를 진짜 내가 하게 되는구나. 사실 첫 번째 정상회담 때 제가 초등학교 5학년인가 그랬고 두 번째 정상회담 때는 제가 고3이었거든요. 근데 이제 사회인이 되어서 아니 기자로서 제가 직접 취재를 하게 되는 이제 정상회담이니까 아무래도 정말 감회도 새롭고 또 그만큼 뿌듯한 것도 있고 또 그만큼 더 부담도 사실 없지 않아 있죠.
On one side of the MPC, the debate session has begun. Although the pre-meeting was held a few days ago to coordinate different opinions, much has changed on the day before the summit. And the debate on those changes is broadcasted live across the globe via the OB van that has been set up at the center.
They threaten their life. So if price is right,
so I don't really think it's just happening overnight.
Another reason why the debate session garners so much interest, especially among foreign reporters, is that it was conducted in English, a language that even those who do not speak Korean can understand.
한국에 대해서 알지만 자세하게 아는 사람은 많지가 않아요. 외국의 언론사들도 마찬가지로 한국에 대해서 피상적으로는 알지만 자세히 알지는 못하죠. 그런 부분에서 외신들을 위해서 한국에 대해서 특히 이번 정상회담을 위해서 보다 더 자세한 정보를 사전에 주고자 토론회가 기획이 됐습니다.
At Arirang TV's news center, the reporters start off another busy day. They rush to their posts at the MPC and CIQ to do a final inspection prior to the event. How do they feel while they wait for the summit?
떨리죠. 중요한 일이고 또 되게 이걸 할 수 있는 게 굉장히 스스로한테도 되게 자부심을 가질 수 있는 일이기 때문에 최선을 다해서 한번 이번 주는 열심히 해보겠습니다.
2달밖에 안 됐을 때 큰 일이 터져서 되게 설레고 또 많은 걸 배우고 올 수 있는 기회가 될 것 같습니다.
Together with the main press center in Ilsan, there was another base camp for the press covering the Inter-Korean Summit. It was the Torasan CIQ office. The gateway connecting the north and the south, it sits just 2 kilometers away from North Korea. To cover the summit from up close, Arirang TV decided to build the largest broadcasting studio in Korea right here. Of course, just building the studio itself is not enough. Broadcasting requires various lighting fixtures as well as communications connections devices. Furthermore, because Arirang TV is planning to pull off a triple cast by connecting its studio at Torasan CIQ office, the main press center, and its broadcasting station, the process is all the more difficult.
도라산 CIQ 앞에 있는 저희 아리랑 국제방송 도라산 스튜디오입니다. 이곳에서 이제 내일 26일부터 27일까지 방송을 할 예정이고요. 지금은 여기 최종 점검을 위해서 나왔습니다.
A handful of OB vans that are needed for transmission are parked outside. These 5-ton vans are equipped with cameras as well as simplified control devices for sending out footage.
부조 나오세요. 뉴스 부조. 네. 지금 우리 이쪽으로 보내 리턴 루프를 찍어줘 보세요. 네. 감사합니다. 다른 체크할 게 또 있나요?
감독님.
프리뷰 아니에요?
네네네
얘기하세요.
네, 그 총 리허설 5시인데 지금 이쪽에서 채워야 하냐고 카메라 감독이 물어보시네요.
이거는 마이크 체크만 할 거예요.
네네.
이어만 뒤에 꽂아주시고요. 마이크만 살짝 걸쳐 주시면 돼요.
저기 레벨이 너무 줄었는데.
마스터를 내주셨구나. 레벨이 줄었어요? 그러면요 옆에 빠지셔가지고 라인 체크를 따로 할게요 우리는.
네네.
The preparation goes more smoothly than expected, allowing the production crew to breathe again.
앵커가 부조정실에 있는 기자나 이런 분들하고 다시 토크하는 것도 되고요. 거기 있는 앵커랑 여기 도라산에 있는 앵커랑 토크도 하고요. 뉴스도 진행하고요. 그 신호를 다시 주조정실로 다시 보냅니다. 그래서 거기서 이제 송출을 하게 되는 거죠. 예.
With Arirang TV covering this international event as the official English broadcaster, its executive employees also visit the studio to inspect the preparation process. They take a look at the systems that are in place, while also lending an ear to the crew working there. They all feel the pride, as well as the burden, for being the official English broadcaster, regardless of their position and title. After all, everything about the summit has been urgent, and the time to prepare has been short. They have to rely on each other to find the strength for overcoming those obstacles. After all, anything is possible when they trust each other and delightfully do their job.
전 세계가 한반도를 주목을 하고 그 가운데 우리한테 가장 중요한 일은 한국의 목소리를 세계에 알리는 겁니다. 바로 그 저희 이 아리랑뿐만이 아니고 방송인으로서 이 세계에 우리 한국의 목소리를 제대로 알리고 이 한반도의 변화의 봄을 제대로 이해시킬 수 있다는 그런 사명감을 우리 모두가 가져야 되지 않나 이런 생각을 좀 하고 있습니다.
The setting is unfamiliar and less than comfortable, but preparation for the first broadcast goes according to plan. Of course, since it's a temporary facility, the infrastructure is far from optimal, except for the new studio. Still, each crew member is excited about the summit in his or her own way. Evening arrives together with the dark. Yet the broadcast sets at Torasan CIQ office are lit up brightly, with each broadcasting company getting ready for its main 8 o'clock news.
That's what we do. 죄송합니다. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷.
Arirang TV studio is also bustling, waiting for its first live broadcasting here.
계속 안 가서 사실.
그거 보니까
딱 가만히 계셔야 되죠?
네.
오디온밖에
이런 움직이면 안 돼요. 네. 반대로 조금씩 움직여요.
그때보다 세트 사람 내가 조금씩
중계차 들리시죠? 30초 전입니다.
30초 전이고요.
4, 3, 2, 1, 레네서 스타트.
자, 타이틀 돌았습니다. 마가 너무 뜬다.
It's 8 p.m. here in Korea, coming to you live from the Customs Immigration Quarantine Office, or CIQ, at Torasan Checkpoint. This is Arirang TV's special broadcast for the 2018 Inter-Korean Summit. Welcome. I'm Daniel Choi.
And I'm Shin Se-min. From this evening until the historic event is wrapped up, we'll be bringing you all the details and updates of related developments.
And the place where we are at,
What's shown on the TV screen may seem peaceful, but the studio itself is like a silent battlefield. Everyone is holding his or her breath, quietly listening to the broadcast signals. There is no such thing as a second chance, making the hours pass by amidst high tension and regret.
언제 어디서 어떤 소식이 들려올지 모른다는 것. 사실 지금 저희가 큐시트를 가지고 뉴스를 준비를 하고 기사를 준비를 해서 저희가 생방송을 하고는 있지만 중간중간 속보가 들어오면 거기에 대처를 해야 되거든요. 근데 그 대처를 할 때 굉장한 부담감이 있죠. 팩트를 전달해야 되고 가장 빠르고 정확하게 신속한 보도를 해야 된다는 부담감은 있는데 그래도 그걸 시청자들에게 잘 보도했을 때 거기서 오는 만족감?
April 27th. The day of the Inter-Korean Summit finally arrives. This important day began not at the MPC or the CIQ office, but in front of the Unification Bridge. It leads to Panmunjom, and hence is the final route that President Moon has to take to reach the venue. At 4 a.m., the area is already packed with reporters who have gathered for the event. Some of them are even getting ready for a live broadcast despite the early hour.
President Moon is expected to cross the bridge with at least 6 of his top aides, including Foreign Minister Kang Kyung-hwa and Unification Minister Cho Myung-kyun. The president will arrive at the truce village of Panmunjom at around 9:30 a.m. and come face-to-face with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un at the military demarcation line at around...
Still, it's too early for them to guess what amazing things will happen at the summit. At long last, the historical moment that everyone has been waiting for is about to unfold before their eyes. President Moon Jae-in arrives at Panmunjom some 30 minutes before the summit is scheduled to start.
Defense Minister, he's got a 7...
Things become all the more hectic for Arirang TV's broadcast team with the arrival of the president's vehicle. This is it. An inter-Korean summit is about to be aired live across the globe for the first time ever. And Arirang TV is determined to uphold its reputation as the official English broadcaster.
두 정상들 만나기 전까지는 민지 씨가 커버를 하고 모든 중계가 끝난 다음에 마무리 멘트 정도를 민지 씨가 전문가들한테 얘기를 좀 듣고 끝내야지 우리가 다음 뉴스를 준비할 수 있을 것 같아요, 앵커들이. 손 PD님 그거 전달 앵커들한테 좀 해주세요.
알겠습니다. 우리 지금 제가 카톡을 보냈는데요. 카톡에 보시면 대통령 나와서 앞서기 전까지는 민지가 하고 민지가 이쪽으로 다시 넘길 거예요.
The reporters at the main press center are feeling just as nervous. And finally, the North Korean leader makes his appearance. Their cool-headed persona, nowhere to be seen. They start to ooh and ah. At 9:29, when the two leaders shake hands, they are all cheering. The meeting is a historic one, and so is the live broadcast. The reporters who fill the 1,000-seat briefing room all stop typing, unable to tear their eyes away from the screen. The moment is powerful and touching, able to move the hearts of even the objective reporters.
저희 기자들은 다 여기서 큰 스크린으로 봤잖아요. 되게 약간 저도 모르게 진짜 박수를 같이 치고 있더라고요. 그 김정은이 그 군사 분계선을 딱 넘어오는 순간에는 진짜 우리가 진짜 한 민족이었지. 그리고 되게 정말 reconciliation이라 그러죠. 이렇게 두 나라가 그래도 같은 한 방향으로 나아가는 게 제가 기자임을 넘어서 그냥 한국 사람으로서 되게 감동 있었고.
The poignancy of the moment is not lost on those who are on standby in the cramped OB van at Torasan CIQ.
지났다. 야 진짜.
야 제대로 했네.
Those at the news center's main control room at Arirang TV, which is connected with the main press center and Torasan CIQ, feel the exact same emotions, regardless of how far away they are from the rest.
넘어가서 찍자고?
The summit seems to have a strange power, melting away the jagged political standoff between North and South and disarming the cool, rational hearts of journalists.
하나, 둘, 셋.
One of the most memorable scenes from the festival-like summit is the walk that the two leaders took along the footbridge. A follow-up coverage has revealed that the seemingly relaxed afternoon walk was also part of a well-laid-out plan. It was a one-on-one meeting to make final decisions that went beyond working-level meetings. With the summit nearing its climax, the coverage of the event becomes even more heated up at Torasan CIQ office.
De to har funnet en god tone, og de ser at vi ser ikke akkurat at det en valg I dag. Vi var utenfor rådhus.
The conflict who was in a way escalating a lot during the autumn has been top of the news many times in Norway, and the reason is that it's been a long conflict, but at the same time, when North Korea developed nuclear weapons, they're not just a threat for South Korea and America, they pose a threat for the rest of the world.
중국 입장에서 좀 복잡하죠. 그 북한에 대해서 태도도 있고 1992년 한국하고 수교한 이래 그런 관계도 있고 경제 부분에 중심으로 하고 작년에도 사드 문제 때문에 여러 가지 복잡한 감정이 있죠. 핵을 포기하게 되면 한반도에서 평화 올 수 있을까? 이 질문 드리고 싶습니다.
It went very smooth, much better than anyone anticipated, even from a semi-skeptic. And it was quite an amazing moment when the two leaders first met and grabbed hands. There was this energy that just filled the space. Even though we're outdoors here in the sizzling sun, we were just caught in that moment. And it's being replayed over and over again. It's quite an honor to be part of that process live and to be able to deliver that to our viewers outside of Korea in English as a representative Korean news network.
Alas, the reporters do not have long to fully enjoy the touching moment. They're continuously connected to the studio, so the crew members are in full standby. Park Ki-jun, a reporter from Arirang TV, is one of them. Something seems hectic about her, though.
저희 기자 MNG 연결 30분에 들어간다고 그래서요. 준비하고 있습니다.
Also known as the Inter-Chile Press in the last few days with the Inter-Korean Summit ahead. Hey guys, it's been a restless day here at the Torasan checkpoint, which is only about 5 to 6 kilometers away from Panmunjom. When the Kaesong Industrial Complex was still operating, around 200 Koreans used to pass through here every day. That's all I have for now. I'll bring the latest updates later in our newscast. Back to you guys.
There's always room for regret in any live broadcasts, but they seem even more dissatisfied than usual.
세팅 보통 한 30분 전에 와서 세팅해야 되는데 지금 갑자기 땡겨져가지고 몇 분 안 남았는데 급하게 준비했습니다.
라이브 수중계를 물리잖아요. 그래서 그거를 계속 하는 과정에서 이게 정확히 언제 끝날지 모르고 그래서 따라서 만약에 뭐 11시 뉴스가 있으면은 수중계 일찍 끝나면 11시 뉴스를 땡기고 뭐 그러다 보니까 이제 필요에 따라 갑자기 투입되고 뉴스 하기로 했던 게 취소도 되고 그런 상황이 많이 있는 것 같습니다. 엄청 당황했죠.
오늘 김정은 위원장과 나는 완전한 비핵화를 통해 핵 없는 한반도를 실현하는 것이 우리의 공동 목표라는 것을 확인했습니다.
오늘 합의한 판문점 선언이 지금 우리의 회담 결과를 간절한 마음으로 지켜봐주고 계시는 여러분들의 기대에 조금이나마 보답하고 새 희망과 기쁨을 주게 되기를 바랍니다.
The political meaning of this Inter-Korean summit is highly significant, of course. But what moved the hearts of all those watching the event was its emotional aspect that transcended any political values. Seeing the two leaders together was a special sentimental experience for any Korean, including the reporters who were at the front line of it all. This did not go unnoticed by the foreign journalists, who say that the sight was very memorable indeed.
Well, the thing that struck me the most was the reaction of Korean reporters. I really felt like the excitement and the tension that was growing on the left side of the hall, and it was really inspiring to see that, you know, so many people from different media, I guess with various agendas, are feeling so, you know, together as a nation at this very moment.
The summit continues into the night. Naturally, the broadcast hours are also extended. But no one is complaining. Everyone's staying right in their positions. Each hour of the historical event is being recorded, remembered, and transmitted to every corner of the world.
We will see our...
At 9:29 p.m., the summit finally comes to an end with a farewell ceremony. And with it, the long day of so many people also draws to a close.
새벽 4시에 나와서 지금 밤 11시니까 계산이 잘 안 되는데 뜻깊었던 하루였던 것 같아요. 뭐 역사의 시간을 함께 했으니까 우리 평화로운 한반도가 되면 좋을 것 같아요.
좀 뭉클하다는 생각은 들더라고요. 그렇지만 일단은 저는 이 방송을 해야 되고 그런 이 일을 무사히 사고 없이 마쳐야 된다는 그런 생각? 그게 제일 큰 것 같아요.
The eyes of the global community has been on the peninsula for 12 long hours, during which both Korean and foreign journalists worked fiercely to cover the summit. Their day, too, is now over. It's like the past month they had spent preparing for the summit is also coming to a close. They wrap up their long journey by saving all those moments in their memories.
To be part of this and to be part of watching Korea's history unfold is always something special. Any time as a reporter you've got this front row seat to history, and that's one of the most privileged moments as a reporter, so I was privileged to be part of it today.
Today, they were with the global community as members of the press and also as Koreans. The experience must be all the more special for the Korean reporters.
취재진들이 3,000명 가까이 되는 이런 취재진들이 여기서 보고 같이 일하고 몸을 부딪히면서 이렇게 하다 보니까 정말 우리나라가 작고 그냥 그런 작은 나라가 아니고 이 한반도가 정말 큰 크고 정말 의미 있는 것이구나라는 것을 깨달았고요.
이제 앞으로 정상회담이 끝났기 때문에 후속 보도를 통해서 또 깊이 있는 분석과 그런 것들을 통해 또 좋은 기사 많이 써낼 생각입니다.
너무 상황이 급변하다 보니까 준비가 안 됐을 경우에 방송을 들어가서 좀 미비한 점도 있었고 준비를 더 잘했으면 이 역사적인 순간을 조금 더 잘 세계적으로 보도를 할 수 있었지 않았을까 이런 것도 있지만 일단 뭐 지금 주어진 상황에서 저희 기자들 다 뭐 팀워크로 통해서 방송은 그래도 괜찮게 마무리하지 않았나 싶습니다.
일단 역사적인 날에 같이 함께 할 수 있다는 것이 참 영광스럽게 생각을 하고요. 전 세계적으로 나가는 매체이다 보니 한국에서 이런 역사적인 날을 세계로 퍼질 수 있도록 그걸 보도할 수 있는 거에 대해서 참 보람을 많이 느끼고 있습니다.
이번에 좀 새로운 도전을 했는데 그게 이제 페이크로 라이브를 하는 연결식으로 한 거였는데 생방송 연결하는 거 자체도 아무래도 페이크다 보니까 좀 진짜로 하는 거랑은 좀 달랐어요. 그래서 그런 점이 좀 새로운 도전이었던 것 같아서 기억에 남아요.
어떤 정치 성향을 가진 사람이든 간에 확실히 어느 정도의 소망은 품을 수 있지 않았나. 오늘 아무도 사실은 부인할 수 없는 사실은 정말 역사적인 순간이었다는 것과 아무도 예상하지 못하게 너무나 그렇게 좋은 시간을 이렇게 두 정상이 함께 할 수 있었다는 거는 정말 장족의 발전인 것 같다는 생각이 듭니다. 북과 남의 화해와 단합의 새 출발을 다름 아닌 바로 이곳.
A few days after the summit ends, a special footage is disclosed. Produced by the North Korean press, it is made up of various scenes captured by them on the day of the summit.
처음으로 판문점 분리선을 사이에 두고 진행된 동남 수뇌분들의 뜻깊은 상봉입니다.
Just like the reporters from South Korea, they too were there at Panmunjom, sharing the same experience throughout the summit. Their eager coverage of the event received much attention from other foreign reporters. Their comments and actions that were occasionally observed were quite an issue among the South Korean reporters. No spring was as radiant and hopeful as this year's since the ceasefire. In Korea, the small and the only divided nation in the world, the reconciliatory mood that first surfaced in early spring fully blossomed with the climax of the season. It was a hectic yet joyful experience for the Korean and foreign reporters who were there to witness and transmit the historical moment. Perhaps another warm spring day, or even a hot summer's day, will come when the reporters from North and South can acquaint themselves and interview one another. We sincerely look forward to that day when peace will be transmitted across the globe from Korea.